Hello, everyone. Let me tell you my story on why I devoted my life to cats. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let me tell you my story. My story begins on 218th Street in Torrance, California. Me, age 5 in the backyard. We had a cat named Blackie, and the cat bit me for some reason. Guess I might have been harassing it. I don't know. And I grabbed the cat by the tail and swung it around and let it go. And when I did, it jumped that fence and never came back. I always wondered what happened to that cat. Now it's 2 years later, and we had to move in this house on 220th Street in Torrance, California. My father was taken ill, and then he passed away a month before my birthday, my 9th birthday to be exact, and a week and a half before his 54th birthday. You know, life goes on. Okay, now it's 2 years later, same house. I'm age 11. My school had a carnival, and someone was giving away some kittens. I took one, brought it home, asked my mom if I can keep it. Named it Tigger, orange kitty cat, cute little guy. And my mom said I can keep him as long as I cleaned up all the cinder blocks and bricks that were strewn around this old truck bed behind the garage. I guess the landlord or somebody left behind, because she wanted to get all the weeds out of there and stuff, and she couldn't do it with all the bricks there and everything. So it's okay. So the cat was running around the backyard, and I'm taking these bricks, I'm making a game out of it, and throwing them into the bed of that old truck. Well, it's just a bed sitting behind the garage. And I threw this one cinder block, and just as I did, that little kitten ran out from underneath that truck bed, and it landed on that kitten and crushed his head. Oh, I was devastated. I ran over, grabbed that cat, and it was clawing the hell out of me, screaming the whole time until it passed. At that point in time, I devoted my life to cats. Told that cat, I'll take care of every animal I can until I'm gone. Here I am, same house, age 12 and 13. Had this cat named Boo Boo. He was an orange tabby. He had kind of a smushed face, and he had 6 toes on his front paws and 7 toes on his back paws. We called him Boo Boo. He was the sweetest little cat. I had Boo Boo and Bobo and Dum Dum. Oh, I had so many cats that I took care of throughout my life, and devoted my life to all of them. I wish I had pictures of all these cats I've had. Here I am also age 12. My mom thought a good thing to get me in the Boy Scouts since I had no men around. I wasn't too keen on the idea. At 13, boy, look at them pants. Yes, sir, it was the end of the 60s, start of the 70s. And I was rocking them, let me tell you. When we left that place, we moved to Redondo Beach, California. At that point in time, I had a cat named Tiger, another orange striped cat. And I came home from school one day, and I couldn't find him. Normally he's at the door meeting me when I come home. Walked in the house, and I could hear this meowing in the garage. I went in the garage, and he was laying on the shelf. And I picked him up, and he looked at me and meowed, and died right in my arms. Never forget that day. Fast forward to 1981. The girl I knew that I wound up marrying and being my first wife, she had this kitten her mom wouldn't let her have. It would always go in the fireplace and do its thing. And so she didn't know what to name it. And she told me since she couldn't have it if I'd take it. And I said, sure. And she wanted to know what I was going to name the kitten. And I said, I'm naming it Ash, for the ashes in the fireplace, and Let. My mom's name was Arlette, Arlette. So I named the cat Ashlet. And Ashlet loved me dearly. Oh, that girl, she just absolutely loved me. But boy, she was feared by everybody else because she did not like anybody but me. In my bedroom, on top of my dresser, I have a urn I made for my two boys, Rocky and Tom. Let me tell you their story. Now the cat on the left side, Snowshoe, one I call Rocky. The wife at the time when we got him, she had a friend that had a little boy, and they were getting rid of a single bed they didn't need, and we needed it for our child. So I said, sure, we got that, and I was there. And that little boy was just so mean to that kitten. Oh, he was just absolutely mean to him. And a few months went by, and the wife said that they had to move and they couldn't take the cat with them. And asked if I wanted him. And I said, oh, I will take that cat, most definitely. So we took him. I named him Rocky. And then the gray cat, the Tom there, his name was Tom. Thomas. The Tomster. When he was a kitten, he lived in a small town. There was a bunch of boys that didn't like cats. And they were catching all the kittens and cats they could, and they threw them in burlap bags and throw them out in the pond and let them drown. My daughter came home with this cat just crying, saying she wanted to save it from these boys, and told me what was going on. And I said, of course I said, yes, we will save this cat. Rocky and Tom became the best of friends, as you can see here in the picture. Thomas, as well as a lot of them, my kitty cats, with male cats, it's a thing that their kidneys give out. And in January of 2010, I had to have him cross over to the Rainbow Bridge. Now Tom used to purr me to sleep, and Rocky here, he'd root me to sleep. He had a stroke in 2011, and got him to work himself out of it pretty much. I mean, he had a limp and had a hard time getting up and down stuff, so I made it easier for him to climb up on the bed with the stair thing and whatnot. By 2013, his kidneys are giving out too, so rest in peace, my friend. Best friends forever. My doctor told me I need to drink more water. I don't drink water, but I do eat popsicles, grape popsicles, twin pops no less. So each popsicle has 2 sticks. They're twin pops. And there's, like I said, grape, orange, cherry, blueberry, banana, lime. Oh, I could sit down and eat 4 or 8 of those twin pops in a sitting. I love them. Didn't know what to do with all them sticks though. So I made an urn box for my boys. I lined the inside with some felt. Give them a nice place to stay. Yep, their ashes are in separate bags inside this velvet bag. There's some toys that they used to play with. Keep them company. Here I've taken the bag with their ashes out, with their toys. I place this washcloth at the bottom, just as a barrier, I guess. I don't know. But as you can see, it's all felt lined. Trying to give them the best. Now when I picked up Tom's remains at the vet, they gave me this card. I wrote Tom at the top. I can't read it. It's too hard. But I'll be quiet so you can. Yeah, well, you see that rock in the flower bed? It's sunk halfway down. I placed it there after Rocky crossed over, just so I can remember where Rocky and Tom used to love to lay. Used to be a lot more plants in there, some hostas and whatnot, but I've taken them out. Trying to put nothing but catnip in there for all the kitty cats, because all the kitty cats like to lay in there anyways. It's like a little jungle when it all grows up. It's so nice to see the cats in there having fun. But anyways, that's where I'm going to put my boys. It's time for them to go back to Mother Earth. Now, Smokey on the right lived in a trailer across from me for about a year underneath it with his brothers Bo and Sylvester. Sylvester was a black and white cat. And Bo was a pure gray cat like Smokey. And one day I saw Smokey, didn't know which cat it was, but I saw Smokey get hit by a car, skid across the road. A day or two later, I was sitting in the chair out in my yard. And here comes Smokey across the street to me, and I petted him. And he's like, "Wow, I like this." And he jumped up in my lap, and he laid down, and I petted him for like 3 hours. My hand was just black. I thought, I'm going to take you in and have you checked, just in case. So I took him to the vet. He checked out fine, other than having a cracked tooth. So I had him neutered, got him all his shots and everything. So he came back home with me. But when I went to pick him up, they normally crimp their left ear if they're returned to the wild. And I picked him up, and his ear wasn't crimped. And I said, "He didn't crimp his ear?" And they go, "We know he's going to stay with you." So we just put a green tattoo on his belly, which they did. And he came home with me, and a few weeks went by, and he healed up. And I let him out to be with his brothers. He saw them across the street and went right over to them, and oh, he was so happy to see them, and they just looked at him and turned and walked away. He sat down and looked at me, so broken-hearted. I said, "Well, come on back. You can stay with me." So he did. He's been with me ever since. Now, Smokey was born roughly the same time Rocky crossed over. I think they're one and the same. Smokey's such a loving boy. He cuddles with me when I sleep, and he gives me kisses all the time. He's just a loving boy. Now, Goldie there on the left, that's Bo's daughter, Smokey's niece. And I was putting a cat door in the shed one day, and I hear meow, 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 and here she comes running across the yard to me. And she came in and watched what I was doing, and when I went in the house, she came in the house, and she jumped up in this gold chair I have, and she slept there for 24 hours. It was so cute. And she's been here ever since. I had her spayed. She's my girlfriend. She's my protector. She keeps all the bugs away from me. And she loves me dearly. Love them both. Goldie's like, "What is this?" And she leans in to take a closer look. Goldie wants to have a memory toy. I know the boys would love for her to enjoy the toys. No sense in burying them with them when they can give someone else joy. Goldie reaches in and pulls it closer to her. Goldie picks it out of the box, picks it up, and gives it a big hug, saying, "I love it. Thanks, guys." Goldie's now making her own memories. She has that little mouse just so gently in her teeth. Oh, she's gonna make some memories. It's time to return. On the left picture, I got the boys sitting on the log while I prepare the area. On the right, I've removed the rock, dug up the soil. It's time for them to return to Mother Earth. This is to show what was given back to me by the vet's office. Tom, in a Ziploc Fresh Shield bag. It's never been opened, ever. Rocky, this hangs in a thin plastic bag with his name written on it. Well, let's do this. Tom goes in first. Rocky goes in second. Those boys are inseparable in life. May they always stay together. I find it fitting to take the velvet bag they've been in all this time and place it over them where I can go with them. I placed the rock back where it was to mark their spot. Now, everybody likes to set off balloons and everything else. I thought it only appropriate to do bubbles. Let's not filthy up the earth any more than we have. Yes, Tom and Rocky are here with me. As two white butterflies came and flew right over the area on the left and danced swirling around each other and went straight up and disappearing into the clouds. I tried to capture them as they went up, but I can't see them. If there was ever a sign, this was it. Now I found this at Menards the other day when I was looking for some gardening tools. So the wings light up. It's solar powered on the back. I've placed about 600 catnip seeds all around them. Have a forest of catnip growing up there. Good night, my friends. Until we meet again. Romeo, my son. I call him that because he is one of 5 kittens, the only one to survive. Their mother was taken away from them 3 days after birth. We found them underneath a bush. Kelly and I took turns every 2 hours getting up, feeding him by hand, and the other ones by hand. Romeo's the only one who survived. He came and lived with me after the first 6 years at Kelly's. He came here to keep Rocky company after Tom left. He loved the flower bed just like everybody else. Well, Romeo came to stay with me the last 10 years of his life or so. Kelly had him come over and stay with me because she had plenty of animals at her house and Rocky was by himself because Thomas crossed over. So he was here to give Rocky comfort and be a friend, which he was. Last year of Romeo's life, he became diabetic, and every day, twice a day, he needed an insulin shot, in the morning and at night. On January 1st, 2020, he did not want his insulin shot in the morning. We gave it to him anyways. Went to the store to get him some special food because I know he's been having a rough time. Came home and found him underneath the table. I thought he had passed. Scooped him up, set him on the table. No, he was still breathing. He just, like in a coma, I guess. Diabetic coma probably. So I called Kelly. Let her know that it was time to have him cross over. Her and one of her daughters came over to help me out. And he kind of came to at the time. He actually talked to them. It was so sweet. And he had a seizure. And we knew it was time to take him, let him cross over. That's what we did. I made this for him. I can't read it. I'll be quiet so you can. I missed you, my son. Till we meet again. All the cats have a special place in that flower bed they like to lay. This is where I'll put Mr. G when the time comes. He is 12 years old. I hope he sticks around a long time. Longest I've had a cat is 19 years. That was Ashlet. Next longest was Rocky, 17 years. Love them all. This is Old Eyes, the king. He's laying where Cooter is buried. So King is buried between the shed and the house. At the cat entrance to the shed, as he is the watcher of the flock. He was a good daddy to all the feral kitties out there. He'd train them and take care of them, just like Mr. G does. Now, right where that plant is where King is. He's returned as a plant to give kittens a place to take shelter. He was always looking after the young. Now Zing Zing always likes laying on top of this log I have out there in the flower bed. So when it's his time, I'll move the log and bury him there, put the log back. But hopefully that's not for a long, long time. I had zoomed in to take this picture, so Oreo looks a little fuzzy. But Oreo, he likes that area between the hedges and the house and the shed, because it's a safe area back there. That's where all the cats travel back and forth, and you can always find him back there. He is such a wonderful cat. There's another cat I call Kiki that lives underneath the trailer next door, and is totally blind to one eye, because you can tell the eye is totally gray and glazed over, and has a hard time seeing out of the other eye. One time I put some food out, and Oreo ate, and he was sitting there looking at me, and I told him, I said, go get Kiki, bring him back. And did you know he left, went and got Kiki, and next thing I know, I saw him and Kiki sitting next to the tree in front of the shed. And I told him, I said, take him to the food. And he nudged Kiki to get him up. Kiki got up. He started walking him towards the food, and Kiki started drifting off. He'd get on the other side and push him back over and guide him all the way up to the food, because he really can't see that well. So they all take care of each other. It's absolutely amazing. This is Pretty Girl. She had a couple of letters, and she was hit by a car and killed on that busy road next to us. They thought it was Mr. G, but it was her. And so a neighbor had taken her to his home, buried her there. Here are 3 of Pretty Girl's kittens. Black and white one, Moo Moo. Remind me of a cow, Moo Moo. And there's Thomas, the Tomster, gray striped cat there in the middle. And then off to the left was Panther. You know, Panther disappeared. Tom Tom was in the house one time because he got to like me and know me. And he came in, and when he went out, wasn't seen again. Don't know what happened to him. Moo Moo, I think somebody poisoned Moo Moo. I'll show you where I have Moo Moo. Yes, Moo Moo was born in my shed. So was Thomas and Panther. They're born in November 2019. July 2021, we had to return Moo Moo to Mother Earth. Photo on the right shows you where Moo Moo is placed. With all that road construction and all that electrical and piping and internet construction, they never disturbed where Moo Moo is at. Amazing. Here's Thomas eating on the back steps. Zing Zing waiting his turn to eat. Thomas and Zing Zing got along. Thomas kind of taking the kittens underneath his wing because Zing Zing's a good year younger than him. They take care of each other best they can. This picture was taken around 2019. The one at the left top is Kitten. Kitten is nowhere around anymore. Then there's Mr. G, he's still here. And there's Midnight. They're in the middle. Across from Midnight, the other black cat is her kitten. Shadow, I believe we call her. She's buried in the middle of the planter. And there's Simba, who's Midnight's sister. She's still around. And then next to her is Bo, Mr. T, Smokey's brother, Goldie's daddy. He hasn't been seen in 8 months. Well, we try and take care of each other. Here's Smokey with his halter on, outside on the leash. Wanting to know what the camera is. This was taken about a year ago. Last year, I think it was. And, yep, he has the greenest eyes. Now, here's Goldie, sitting in her golden throne. This picture doesn't do any justice. Her eyes are just owl gold when she looks at you. That's why she's called Goldie. Yep, they keep me alive. They keep me doing stuff, keep me moving, keep me motivated. Goldie's heading for the patio. Smokey's like, if she's going out, I'm going out too. Kids, what do you do, huh? Yep, I did all my crying before I got to my daughter's house. This is my youngest daughter's first baby. I never thought I'd live to see the day, let alone hold Sonora. And another reason to keep on going. Well, I sure hope you all had a good time with my story, my adventure with why I dedicated myself to cats. Life goes on, and so should you. Enjoy all the memories, for that's the only thing you will take with you. I love you all. Till the next time we meet.